As promised, it is finally here, the 14 million damage Nemesis build. Remember, if you liked the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So now, let's get into it. What are we using? Our main bad boy, the Nemesis sniper rifle, is an exotic sniper rifle with the talent Electromagnetic Accelerator. Shots fired deal 0 to 100% weapon damage based on how long the trigger is held before release. Let's first jump into the specialization. The specialization that we are using is the Sharpshooter. Now, main reason why we're using the Sharpshooter has everything to do with 1 in the head. 15% increased headshot damage with rifles and marksman rifles allow for precision kills. We are also going to be using depleted rounds, 15% increased marksman rifle damage. And then there's another perk where, here it is, Sharpshooter Tactical Link. All group members that are closer to enemies, then you get 10% headshot damage for helping out your squad when they are pushing, because this is very much for sitting extremely far in the back. Now, let's head down to the shooting range, and we are going to change the shooting range from challenging to heroic, so you can see how much damage you do on heroic enemies. Now, one of the things that a lot of people ask me is, why run a double rifle build? Let's get this a little bit closer, shall we? So, let's look at our weapons. Our first weapon is the SOCOM MK20 SSR. It is a marksman rifle. Total damage is 316k. Now, the reason why I'm using the SOCOM SSR is because of the high rate of fire and the really big magazine. The talent on this rifle is Optimist. Weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. Now, if we look into our gear, we are running a 4-piece set belonging to aces and eights. The 4-piece bonus is flip a card when landing shots with a marksman rifle. After 5 cards are flipped, the damage of your next shot is amplified by 30%. More shots are enhanced, the better the hand revealed. So as you can see, 4 of a kind gives you 4 shots, full house gives you 3, aces and eights gives you 2. Now, getting into the attributes of the build, the 2 major attributes, both the core attribute and the main attribute that you are looking to run, is 1, weapon damage, which increases, like it says, your weapon damage by 15%. Now, I have 15% on mostly all of my pieces, except for my knee pads and my chest piece, because I needed to buff something else in the form of headshot damage. And the second most important thing is headshot damage. You are going to be landing a lot of headshots, and this will help you one-shot a lot of enemies. So, the Sacrifice, it's a high-end chest piece, it's a named item. You get Perfect Glass Cannon, all damage you deal is amplified by 30%. Only major downside that I hate of this chest piece is that all the damage you take is amplified by 60%, which means once things start focusing on you and you do not have cover, you will die. Essentially, this build is kill the enemy before the enemy can kill you. And on our backpack, we have the Apollo Operator pack. It's a part of the Araldi Holding set, which gives me another 10% marksman rifle damage. I kind of wish that the Sacrifice was also a part of the Araldi set so I can get that extra 10% weapon damage, but I'm not too broken up about it. As you can see, core attributes once again are 15% weapon damage and 7.4% headshot damage from a mod. The talent on this backpack is Composure, while in cover increases total weapon damage by 15%. Now, when it comes down to your skills, basically run what makes you comfortable. Like, yes, Revive Hive is going to be at the top of the tier list for picking you up when you die, especially because of this chest piece increasing the damage you take by 60%. But for your other skill, I run Scanner just so I can see where everything's position is in front of me, or if anything flanks behind me that I don't see. But you are more than free to run the talent that you want. So, for the rifle build, why are we running 2 rifles? It's quite simple, and it's because of this. With the first rifle and the high rate of fire, if anything pushes up to you between 5 and 10 meters, that's how fast you proc aces and eights. Then you swap over to your rifle. Headshot. 15.5 million damage. More than enough to two-shot any named target. Aces and eights fell off. Switch back to your first rifle. You proc 4 of a kind. Headshot. 14.3 million. Second headshot instantly kills a named target. I've been using this to kill the hunters, and it's super easy being able to two-shot them. You basically lock them into a forever pattern of standing still and having to apply a med pack. So, purple target, headshot, dead. Elite target, headshot, dead. Named target, back to our initial target again. We're going to proc aces and eights off of that. First shot is 11 million without aces and eights procced. Second shot is 14 million. Target is instantly dead. This does a ton of damage. And where this comes into play is really going to be in the raid for when you need to kill, what is his name, Brick? That very first guy in the raid when you need to pump out a ton of damage onto him. And it's also going to come in handy on Lucy and Buddy. And it's also going to come in handy on... Who comes after Lucy and Buddy? I've completely forgotten. It's been so long since I've played the raid because to me that content is just tedious at the moment. But yeah, this is the build. 4-piece aces and eights with the Sacrifice high-end chest piece and the Apollo Operator backpack for that extra 10% marksman rifle damage. With all of these things, with 15% in each of your core attribute slots, while also running extra headshot damage. I do not have extra headshot damage on these gloves. I'm going to have to farm for more gloves to change that. You will be able to put out 14 million, technically 15 million off that first shot worth of damage. That's more than double from the very first video that we did, which was when Warlords of New York first dropped. But that's the build. Hopefully you guys will be able to get out there and start making this super high damage build so you can more or less go around two-shotting. Even without aces and eights, you two-shot name targets. That's insane. That way you can go around and you can start two-shotting. Oh, another thing before we end this video. So, for this, if the enemy pushes you and you don't actually feel like swapping the Nemesis because they're super close, that alone one of the perks of Optimist is for the more and more ammo you use, the higher and higher the damage becomes. So it starts off at 1.9 because of aces, 1.5, 1.5, 1.51, 1.51, 1.9, 1.9, and that's all in the millions. So you can imagine for something that pushes you, like, let's say a gold tier enemy, like just a regular elite with no bullshit attached to them, like an overshield or anything along those lines, like a veteran for the primary, 4-shot for an elite, pushing up on you, instantly dead. God, I love this set. The only detriment of this build is that you take 60% extra damage. Now, if you wanted to and you did not want to run this chest piece, you can run a chest piece such as the one that gives you extra damage against pulsed enemies. Because you're already running I'm running a pulse anyway, so if I don't feel like running it, I just swap that chest piece over. That way I can continue doing the damage that I want to do without worrying about dying in like 4 hits. But yeah, that's the build. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.